Hello, everybody. This is your 60-year-old carnivore friend, George from Bridgewater in Somerset in England. This is just a check-in, I suppose, really, just to talk about what's been going on for the last week or so. I've got a lot of information, a lot of news to tell you. So I thought I'd do another one-take wonder, unless I can learn how to use the pause button correctly if I go wrong, because I do have quite a lot of subjects to discuss. The first one of which being the fact that I am a hernia sufferer. I do have a right hand inguinal hernia, which has become fairly troublesome just recently. And I finally gave in and put myself in the hands of the British National Health Service, which I'm very reluctant to do because uh, they are in a bit of a state at the moment, to say the least, and they are underfunded and understaffed. However, I really felt I had no choice because I'm becoming quite worried about the pain and the fact that it is making my life difficult. So I went and saw my GP, excellent doctor, very nice, very sympathetic. He observed the fact that the hernia got considerably bigger than it had been originally diagnosed with, and it has spread into my groin, which is two causes for concern. So he referred me to the specialist. So he said, you will definitely be eligible for a hernia correction operation, which will be the laparoscopic procedure with the mesh insert, probably. I checked in with Dr. Kilts about this. He has had three such things done. So he has very kindly told me what to expect from the procedures. However, I received a letter on Saturday as a follow up to this, and it's kind of what I expected. I'll just read it to you. Dear Mr. Goodenough, reference your upper gastrointestinal surgery referral at Somerset National Health Service Foundation Trust. Your referral has been received and accepted by the upper gastrointestinal surgery service. Due to high volumes of patient referrals, we are unable to offer you an appointment at this time. Please be aware that currently for some specialties, the waiting time for first appointments is longer than 6 months. You can expect an appointment letter from us around 6 weeks before our first available appointment. If we have a mobile phone number or email address for you, we may also occasionally contact you by text or email about your appointments with us. In the meantime, if you are concerned your condition is getting worse, please consider contacting your GP for advice. Yours sincerely, etc., etc. So, what conclusions we draw from this? Basically, the National Health Service is not really providing a service. So, just for our American friends, the way it works over in this country is that we pay for the National Health Service via our taxes. The misconception that the National Health Service is free is just that, a misconception. We are paying customers. We pay for it in advance by working. However, they are totally unable to provide a service unless your leg is hanging off or you go in by ambulance. The only hope I've now got is if my hernia threatens my life, and then I might get a bit of service. Other than that, I'm really expecting to hear nothing within the next 6 months. So, yeah, don't get ill in this country at the moment unless you happen to have private health insurance or you are a welfare case, shall we say. Like, for example, you might be wearing a life jacket. I'll leave it at that. So that's that covers the National Health Service. Right. Okay. So, in addition to that, myself and Lainey have just come back from our local hospital. As you know, she is a cancer sufferer. She's in remission from cancer. She has just completed her 2-year course of oral chemotherapy, which means that she is now currently on no medication, which means that she is in risk of the cancer further metastasizing into her bones given the nature of the cancer. However, there is some hope out there. A New York-based company called Stemline, are about to conduct a 5-year, 4,220 subject trial, and it's going to be across 30 countries. Lainey has been nominated for this trial. 50% of the people on the trial will be given the new drug elacestrant, Elacestrant, which is the stemline solution. The other 50% will be offered the standard of care or the standard endocrinal therapy. Now, this is going to be a subject for a YouTube in its own right. I will go into details on a follow-up YouTube to this, which I will try to do later on after I've done the Monday morning live at 2 p.m. my time with Alia the carnivore, and I'll come back and give a kind of detailed description of the trial and what we might expect from it. So those of you who are particularly interested in cancer and the treatment thereof might want to watch that one as well. So yeah, last week, I bumped into an old friend of mine, Andy. He is a catering manager now at the local nuclear power station, which is expanding. They have an additional 15,000 workers in at the moment, building the Hinkley Point C power station, very near Bridgewater in Somerset. Now, he knows my story of being a carnivore, and he was very keen to tell me that carnivore seems to be very popular amongst the workforce at Hinkley Point. He's getting a lot of feedback. They want more meat. They want they're saying that basically you cater perfectly well for vegetarians and vegans, but you don't cater for us carnivores. So hats off to you guys. The one statistic he gave me, which I found very interesting, was that the sale of pork rinds, stroke pork scratchings, as they are here in the UK, has increased by 120% since he's been there. When he asked one of the most vociferous carnivores out there what it was all about, he said, well, carnivores like snacks too, and the only snacks that we can really tolerate are pork rinds or pork scratchings. So I think this is just another indication that carnivore is taking off around the world. One comment I can make about the nuclear power industry is that the people tend to be very well paid, which means that they can afford not to have to worry about the expense of carnivore. So, but it's very, very encouraging to me that I'm getting such feedback from people in positions of like catering managers who know about these things. So that's a bit of good news for, I think. As many of you know, I did my latest Dave Mack, my fifth Dave Mack, last Friday, which he then published on Saturday evening in our time. I think it's had over 6,000 views now, which is fairly standard for Dave. But I had quite a lot of feedback, which I dealt with yesterday. Most of it was very positive, and I have answered every comment on there, apart from the most negative one. I can't remember what that one was about. But there was one comment which I think was aimed at me. It said that talking in the third person, he is a self-publicist. It would be nice to know more about him. I think sometimes these people forget that we, the subjects, actually do read these comments about us. Now, I don't deny the fact that I'm a self-publicist. In fact, I did tell Dave in that video that I am trying to break into the media as a career, as a journalist, as a chat show host, as a carnivore advocate. So is it such a bad thing trying to be a self-publicist, trying to let the world know that I am available for interview, that I'm available to write books and magazine articles on carnivore? Well, I hope you'd agree with me when I say no. I don't think it is. I think if we're going to get the word out there, then it does take people like me, who are far from camera shy and who have the command of the English language, to actually get out there and spread the word. So yeah, I kind of felt that one was quite amusing, and there is an amusing story associated with that, because when I changed my profile picture on Facebook to one of me, a close up of me with a microphone in front of me at the Great British Meetup, a great friend of mine, one of my best friends in the world, Jilly, an 88-year-old lady for locally. She's a very good artist, actually. She just put on there just 2 words: media tart. She was just taking the piss, taking the mickey out of me, basically. And I'm delighted to say that my great friend, who I know will watch this, Lynn Tucker Carnivore over in South Carolina, leapt to my defence and said, "No, he's a handsome carnivore," and it's just so that was a that was a little interchange between two of my great friends. But Jilly didn't mean anything by it other than to have a laugh at my expense. Uh, Further to that, I'm actually going out for lunch myself, and Lainey are going out for lunch with Jilly this Thursday. So I shall tell her that story. I'm sure she'll find it very amusing. Right, yeah. So, oh yeah. Also on Dave Mack, I introduced the term therapeutic carbohydrate restriction, which went down very well. The word carnivore, it's great for us to use it amongst ourselves, but I think if we're trying to spread the word to the broader audience around the world, then carnivore may appear a bit emotive and may appear a bit primitive, shall we say, a bit caveman. So there are other terms that we can use. The most fundamental one being the low carb, high fat approach to nutrition, which I explained in Dave Mack. Our aim is to put ourselves into nutritional ketosis through the ketogenic diet, for example, and the ultimate elimination is carnivore. However, the good sort of medical term for it is because we're trying to heal stuff, then it should be therapeutic. And the term which Dr. Kiltz has kindly taught me on his course is therapeutic carbohydrate restriction. 3 words, but it kind of captures what we're doing. We're doing it for therapeutic reasons. We are doing it because carbohydrates we recognize as being the enemy of human health. Therefore, the logical step to heal ourselves is to restrict them. So, therapeutic carbohydrate restriction. I commend the term to you, and if you find it easier to use that term to try and get the message across, then yeah, I can highly recommend it. I think so. Just something to think about. Also, with the Dr. Kiltz course, it started on July the first of the Kiltz coaching courses. Unbelievably, it's gone very quickly, and we are coming to the end of it now. It will end before the end of September, so only another couple of weeks to go. And then the next one starts on the first Wednesday, I believe, in September. So anybody who is thinking about it or who is hearing it about it for the first time from me today, please go to the KMT, the Kiltz Mighty Tribe website, and consider the possibility of signing up for it. I can tell you that we got it as the first course for just administration fees. Really, it was a tiny amount of money for 13 weeks of entertainment plus education. And also, I have got many new friends from America off the back of it, and it's just been a fabulous experience. We have a WhatsApp group dedicated to that course. As I pointed out to all my friends, when the course ends, the WhatsApp group won't. The WhatsApp group will still exist, and we are friends for life, and we'll be helping each other for life. So yeah, I can highly recommend it. Go out there. It is slightly more expensive this time, but not a huge deal more expensive. But it is about a third the price, I think, of the Dr. Berry course and the other ones that are being advertised around the place. Basically, Dr. Kiltz is a philanthropist. He wants people who are not necessarily very wealthy, but who do want to make a difference in this world. He wants to offer them the chance to make that difference by becoming certified. Certainly, without the subsidization of the course which Dr. Kiltz gave us, I would not now be able to afford to do it. So, Dr. Kiltz, we love you. We think what you're doing is great. So please go and take advantage of that fact. Right then, one of the feedbacks I got from Dave Mack was from a new friend of mine on Facebook. In fact, a new friend of mine, full stop. 68-year-old gentleman called Chris Lloyd. Chris is a musician. He is the head of an Eagles cover band called Talon, which was formed in 1997. I am not very up on popular culture, so this was kind of news to me. However, we are now friends, and he has just announced that Talon are about to start a 76-date UK tour, which I believe starts tomorrow, the 16th of September, and goes on till the end of February. Now, Chris is 68 years of age, and he told me when he contacted me that he feels 28, and he's looking forward to the 76 dates tour over the next few months. And he's got no intention of slowing down anytime soon, which he puts down to um, basically being carnivore. So yeah, so if you get a chance in the UK, or if he tours America, I don't know whether he does or not. Please do go and support him, because he's well worth supporting. And I happen to like the Eagles. Not so hot in Hotel California, but Desperado, Lion Eyes, and Peaceful Easy Feeling. And I'll run those three as my favourite Eagles songs. So yeah, I am going to go and see him when he comes to Bridgewater. Really looking forward to meeting him, and it's going to be great fun. Yeah, we're strange bunch, carnivores, aren't we? We go from neurosurgeons to musicians to construction workers. We kind of cover all bases. It's yeah, we're a remarkably diverse set of people, but we all are all bound together by one common theme, which is carnivore and health. Uh, Sunday School Carnivore. We did the latest one last night. It was a fabulous one with Kat Herman and Papa Carnivore, the legend who is Papa Carnivore. Because Papa is such a good speaker, I didn't have much to say last night, really, but I did monitor it very closely. Steph and John. Steph was handling the chat as usual, and John was the headmaster, the principal, and handling things as he does. However, I did have one interesting input, because one of um, the key things, or the most common complaints, if you like, that we hear in this community is the fact that we are ignored at home by our families and friends. And it's something we hear all the time, because basically our families and friends do not really wish to hear about carnivore from somebody they've known all their lives, somebody whose faults and flaws they know, and somebody who they just don't see as having an important message to send. I certainly suffer from the same thing. My my alcoholic, well, not alcoholic, but my alcohol drinking pub mates, they all want the old George back. They want their drinking buddy back, really, and they don't want to hear about health and carnivore and the fact that I've actually lost 120 pounds. Yeah, they're happy for me, but they're not really interested in changing their pizza and Peroni lifestyle. Peroni being an Italian beer, I'll just use it for that reason. So, as we know, the most difficult people for us to get through to are those closest to us. And there's one thing which a lot of people out there have failed to pick up on, and that's that in the Christian community, the the Messiah, Jesus Christ, Jesus of Nazareth, actually suffered the same thing, which I was aware of, because I've done quite a lot of studying over the years. And I just want to really sort of read you something from the New Testament Bible, from the Gospel of Mark. Mark chapter 6, verse 4. I'll just read it to you now and see what you think. Uh, Jesus said to them, "A prophet is not without honor except in his own town, among his relatives, and in his own home." Does this ring any bells? He could not do any miracles there except lay his hands on a few sick people and heal them. He was amazed at their lack of faith. So, folks, next time you try and convince your family and your friends and people in your own home about the message you're trying to send, and they reject you, just remember you're in pretty good company. It's just something to think about. Yeah, and as regards Sunday School Carnival, I've discovered that if I stream it on my channel and people are watching it on my channel, then we cannot join the general chat. So it's now my idea that I am actually not going to stream it onto my channel from now on. I'm going to just concentrate on the two principal channels, which are Carnivore Teacher, John Laspinas, over in Florida, and Stephanie's channel, Stephanie Taylor, Happy Sexy Health, here in the UK. That way, all of my viewers can join in with me on those two channels, and we can all see each other on the chat. Because I have noticed that the very few people who watch it on my channel, when they come up in the chat, nobody else can see them. Thanks to Jonathan Griffiths, Carnivore Muscle, for pointing that fact out to us. So once again, Jonathan, cheers, mate. Yeah, one of the people who was following me last night on my channel was an excellent lady from I'm not sure if she's Canada or the States, but she's lives out in the forest. Her channel is called Grizzly Warrior. She wears buckskin and well, you know, she dresses as a mountain lady, in the style of Jim Bridger, etc., etc. She lives out in the forest. She has her own big knife which she wears on the hip, which she uses to cut things up. She demonstrates cooking. She drinks coffee. Ooh, naughty girl. But then again, so do a lot of us. She's my kind of gal because I always fancy myself as a bit of a backwoods man myself, being brought up on a farm and being having a 2-2 air rifle as a child, and no rabbit or pigeon was safe uh, within 30 meters of me, believe me. And yeah, they often used to end up in the pot. So yeah, my type of person. So this is just a shout out to her channel. Really, she told me last night that she's with fall coming on, she is going to be going out and teaching people how to get ready for the winter using the autumn as a background. So if you haven't heard of Grizzly Warrior, please go and find her channel because she's going to have some really fascinating stuff coming up over the next few weeks. Right, so another thing, the controversial subject of raw, eating raw in the carnivore context. Dr. Kiltz kind of is a proponent of eating raw, although he actually does talk about the black and blue seared with the raw middle. However, there was an excellent young lady on with the Kiltz show this morning. He wasn't there because he's flying back from wherever he spent the weekend. LA, was it? I can't remember. Uh, but Dr. Nelson Alia hosted an Italian lady living in the States, an Italian student. I think she's 26 years old, called Marilena, and she was brilliant. She's been eating raw since she can remember, and she's a proponent of it. However, I have noticed that in the carnivore world, the idea of eating raw seemed to send some top carnivores into convulsions. They really disapprove, and it makes them seem to make them quite angry. They say, "Well, we've had fire for a long time, and we're designed to eat cooked meat now. That's why we've got fire." I don't understand this because as carnivores, we should be tolerant of each other. I eat both raw and cooked. Mostly, I eat raw. I started off eating raw as an experiment because I watched a video from Carl Day, the Primal Lifestyle, in which he interviewed a guy called Jacob McAteer, the Raw Carnivore. I think you can find it from probably over a year ago now if you scroll back on the Primal Lifestyle. But Jacob's was a fine specimen of man and absolutely nothing wrong. He'd been going for a long time. So yeah, I now eat raw. I'm not one of these sort of evangelists when it comes to it. I find it A, convenient, and B, I like it. I do add mustard, a bit of French's mustard, because that's one of the cleanest, and I do add lots and lots of salt for flavour. But it mainly is convenient because I don't have to cook anything. I can actually eat on the go raw. So yeah, I don't understand the fuss about it because you do you, and Lainey doesn't like me doing raw. So at the weekends, I tend to eat cooked. We have barbecues. She does roasts. I certainly wouldn't eat either pork or chicken raw or bacon or sausages. So they all get cooked. But what's the big fuss about eating raw? I'm very, very well. I've been doing it for a year now. I think it actually helps my digestive health. So all I would ask is you do you. And if I want to eat raw, please don't start shouting at me that I should be cooking it and that I'm going to get bacteria and food poisoning because I don't. So anyway, it's just something that upsets me a bit within the carnivore community that a lot of people that I really respect shout the loudest being anti-raw. So just, for me, stop doing it. Right, meetups coming up. Three that I'm kind of involved in that I know of at the moment. The first one being the winter meetup here in the UK, which we have scheduled for November the 15th, and in Somerset, very near Sourdown Farm, which some of you will remember from the summer, about 2 miles away. But being winter, we decided that we'd be better off in a sort of solid building. So we're looking to hire Keinton Mandeville Village Hall. Keinton, Keinton, Mandeville, Mandeville. This was recommended to me by Ashley as it is the caterer, as it is his local village hall. It has a website, so go and have a look. Myself, Laney, and Lauren Tucker have arranged to meet the local council there at 9:30 on Thursday, the 18th of September. This being Monday, the 15th of September. After which we'll be going to go and see Ashley and sort out the venison and the pheasant and the various meats and cheeses for the meal. So we've got that one to look forward to if we get enough interest. Carl, the Day of the Primal Lifestyle, has done the registering the interest platform, and I believe that he's had quite a bit so far. So yeah, please do go to his channel and register interest, and hopefully we can make this happen. I'm fairly confident. June the 13th next year, we're back to Sourdown for the Great British Meetup, take 2. This is probably going to be a bit bigger than the last one, even though we had 120 odd people there. So those of you who remember, I think we're probably going to be using the big marquee and hopefully upping our numbers to about 200. Because of my connections with America, we are getting quite a bit more interest from America this year than we had last year. So hopefully there might be 1 or 2 names from the American community that you recognise when the time comes in June. Although obviously there is a logistical problem there. It's time and expense for our American cousins. It's not cheap, and obviously they have their own meetups to attend. So I'm hopeful that we might see 1 or 2 of our American friends. In the meantime, I'm more than hopeful that many of you from last year and also other people who didn't know about last year will actually be coming to Sourdown in June of next year and coming to enjoy that meetup. The third meetup with which I'm involved is actually an American one itself. As many of you know, I went to Wyoming last month to go and meet up with Tyler McCann, who is the organizer of the Rendezvous City Beef Roundup, which happens in Riverton in Wyoming at the Fremont Center, which is kind of a mini version of our own Royal Bath and West show. The Bath and West show ground, at least. It didn't happen this year because sadly Tyler's father-in-law died on July the 11th, and by the time that he was able to deal with the estate and everything from it, then he found that many of his sponsors had kind of taken their eye off the ball, let him down. The caterers had taken other events that day, and he basically did not have the logistical capability to make it happen. However, I went anyway to spend the weekend with him because even though the roundup wasn't there, Riverton and Tyler were still there. So we had a great weekend, and we were joined by Laurie Tibbetts from Idaho, who went for the same reason as me, because she was already booked in to Wyoming for that weekend, and she also wanted to go and make sure that Tyler was okay, give condolences to his family, and just have a really lovely weekend. And it was a very successful weekend. And we are full steam ahead for the plans for the 2026 Beef Roundup in Riverton, Wyoming. Myself and Lainey will be going. Lainey has been so impressed by what she's seen and the stories that I've told that she really wishes to go and meet Tyler and his family and to basically just have a good time for the weekend in Wyoming, because it is going to be both serious and fun at the same time. Tyler is planning a couple of less serious events, such as the 5-kilometer ruck race, followed by the Maggie White Challenge, which is a quarter-mile dash carrying a 50-pound feed bag in each hand. So that's going to be interesting. I've excused myself on account of my hernia and my age. I am 60 after all. But I believe that Dr. Anthony Chafee was due to lead the way this year. So maybe he'll be coming back to give it a go next year. We'll just have to wait and see. But I am going to go to Wyoming this August. If anybody from the UK would like to go, but is a bit nervous about the travel, about where it is, about what sort of reception you can expect, come with me. I now know how easy it is to get there. I now know how to negotiate Denver Airport and how to get the connecting flight to Riverton. I now know how easy Riverton is and the fact that it is only 10 minutes outside of Riverton town centre itself. It's likely that if we do put a contingent together, we will be staying just outside Riverton in a place called the Hamptons Inn, depending on whether we can get the group discount that we're looking for. But failing that, there's plenty of other accommodation in town. Yeah, it won't be cheap. The flights are just shy of £1,000 each. Accommodation maybe £800 for the 4 or 5 days that we'll be staying there. Transport costs are minimal, and then obviously the food costs when you're there. But for those of you who like to go on holiday every year, then maybe you're looking at going to such places as the Mediterranean or some other hot place. Well, why not come and have a carnival holiday with me? We'll have some fun, and Wyoming is hot at that time of the year, so it's something I would recommend anyway. And if anybody is interested in it, just get hold of me because we will organise stuff. I'm in constant contact with Tyler now because I'm kind of the British marketing end of the roundup. So yeah, we will make it happen if you wish to do so. So that pretty much wraps up all of my news for the moment. We discussed the course. Yeah, if anybody's not a member of Kilt's Mighty Tribe and they're not aware of it, go and find it on your internet browser, and there is an app in the store which you can download, and you become automatically a member for free of the KMT, the Kilt's Mighty Tribe. And Dr. Kilt does regular Zoom calls and lots of features, and it's well worth the effort of downloading that app because it is free, and free, as we know, is good. Okay then, my carnival friends, that's probably my longest video yet. It's actually gone over half an hour. It is a one-take wonder, so excuse me if I have made some mistakes on the way, and excuse me if I have made some errors. But yeah, I'm going to go and upload this now, and then in just under an hour's time, I'm going to be doing a live with Alia _ the carnival _ the _ carnival, which I'm very much looking forward to, as I've got my great friend and Notes Foundation ambassador, Louise Benning, coming on with us today. So that's going to be a good one. If you don't catch the live, make sure you catch the playback. Okay, folks, I'm going to do a typical Kerry, go beep and say goodbye.